If I try it, it asks me to give. You have to give me permission to do it.
Oh, well, I'm recording now. Does it show you that I'm recording now?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Do you want to check and make sure that the audio is coming through and everything like that? Or you trust it?
It's coming through. No, it's 100% coming through.
Okay.
I promise.
Cool.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
That's so funny. You can hear it too?
Welcome back to the show. Today we got a very special couple of guests. Yeah.
That's so fucking funny that they put that shit.
It's really
funny.
funny.
I can hear it too.
Yeah.
That is the corniest shit ever. Bro, your headphones are nice though. They kind of are sleeker than ours. Ours are a little bulky.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
Those
my squeezing my glasses on my head.
ATH M20X.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's on the headband. The brand is on the headband.
Audio Technica.
Ah.
Oh, Audio Technica. It's Latin. They're Latin. All right, well, Austin Rylee, thanks for being here, you guys. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
It's very exciting. So for the
only episode we ever get to be in.
No, you guys can be on many, many times. But so this is going to be episode 4 by the time this comes out. And yeah, it's cool because you guys were some of the original people who inspired me to start this, because throughout the entire relationship, I've known Austin 10 years. I've known Rylee for 2 or 3. And you guys are the type of people who like to, at least for me, everything I've ever done, you've given me like insight and encouragement and advice and feedback, and even just like calling me on my bullshit. And like, that's really important to surround yourself with those people. And I have to say, like, this podcast wouldn't exist if it wasn't for your guys' encouragement and feedback and inspiration, and also calling me on my bullshit. So I just want to thank you for that. And I want to hear what your opinion is, and surrounding yourself with people who push you to be better, who inspire you, or just on a similar wavelength in terms of, trying to make a difference in the world.
Do we get a kickback for all the success that your channel has then?
Yeah, I got tabs open for you guys.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
You get 15%.
50%. 15% off the Onward store.
That's perfect. That's exactly what it's like to be around people in the same wavelength. There, that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to answer the question first? Or do you want me to answer first?
I want to hear what you have to say first.
Well, I haven't had a lot of friends in a long time. So,
who are your friends? How many?
Eric, Ryan, my brother. I mean, I have a lot of people that I like associate myself with, that I talk to.
So what's the wave like?
What do you mean? Like, what's it?
Why is it important to surround yourself with people like that?
That was the question. Why it's important is because you are who you become. That's the corny saying. That's true. But if, like, Eric, if you stayed around the people that you were friends with in high school, you wouldn't be doing this podcast. You wouldn't be doing the things that you're trying to do. You wouldn't have come to Jamaica with us. You wouldn't have done the thing that you're doing now with Paul. Like, none of that would ever happen. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. And I don't want to, because people are probably listening to this, and like, there's nothing wrong with any of those dudes and what they're doing. Not. It's just I had to break off and almost find my own way, because they were all athletes and they were involved in sports and going to school for law and business and all this. And I'm kind of on the opposite end. So I had to kind of break out. We're still all close, but I had to break out and kind of find my own way.
Do you remember you on the wakeboard?
Yeah, I took that L that day.
We know you're not in the athlete group, bro.
Yeah, for sure. No, definitely not.
We're going to get you up, bro. Next time you come down, we're getting on the wakeboard.
Especially,
but no, you're definitely 100% right. You are who you become. The same way with the books and the content that you consume. Like, even the food that you eat, and I think about like drinking alcohol and like poisoning your body like that. Like, if you do that, what do you think you're going to produce as your thoughts, your emotions? Like, it's all going to be poisoned. You know what I'm saying? So you just are what you become, what you
surround yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, kind of like a car. Like, people say it's like a car, and then they always make the analogy to, like, is analogy the right word? They make the comparison to, the books you read are the gasoline in your car, or the people you hang around are the gasoline in your car. They always make that reference. You know what I'm saying? So I think it goes through for a lot of things.
Yeah. What do you think, Ryan?
I feel like when you surround yourself with people that push you further, it forces you to not be stuck. Because I feel like so many humans get stuck and so many friend groups get stuck where it's like
Mhm.
you're 40 years old and you're still doing the same thing every weekend that you did when you were in high school. And it's like,
Right.
that's great for some people. But for people that do want that push, that growth in their lives, that's where you need to surround yourself with other people like that, because they won't ever let you get stuck and repeat your
Right.
patterns. They're constantly pushing you because they want to be pushed too. So it's constantly like everybody's pushing each other in a circle that just expands.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I called this podcast Forward Evolution, because like all the content and ideas and topics talked are part of that idea of just moving forward and getting unstuck, because you're going to get, like, we all get stuck, but it's important to have people like, and again, you guys and Ryan are the perfect example of people who throughout the years have, almost without me even saying anything, have noticed when I've been air quotes stuck, and like have just spoken up. And not like, yeah, you would discuss it amongst yourselves and then come to me, but it's not like you never came to me. Like, you wanted to make sure I knew what you were thinking, because you ultimately, it was in my best interest. And like, that's super important. So if you're listening to this and like you don't have friends like that, like, I'm sorry, but like, you have to get friends like that, or just surround yourself with people who are going to do that for you, because if you're not growing, you're dying. And if anything, you're moving backwards. And like, that's no way to spend your life.
And your customers and your fans can't be your friends.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah, I love that. And, but you're right though. It's like, the Jamaica trip was really interesting too, because that's what JP and I were talking about yesterday, and how like we started talking about Rocky Garza, and like, if you're listening, go check out Rocky and what he's up to and what he did for us in Jamaica. His identity mapping program was like really, really groundbreaking. So it's just cool because even people there saw the difference between you and I, Austin, and like but the close dynamic that you and I have. And Rocky, when he was reading my map, was like, that's why you've kept each other around, because Austin's intense. He comes off, he said, I re-listened to it. He said, because of me, because I have this kindness strength, it's what keeps us around, because you have the ability to push me. And because I have like this kindness in my heart, you don't come off as an asshole. You just come off as, that's who you are, and you just want to push me. And like, that's why I think we work so well together, despite all the ups and downs over the years. And you and I have very rarely had ups and downs in terms of like fighting and like shit like that. But through all of it, look at forex and like building it, and all the people that have come and gone, and like, here we are, we're still going, we're still making it work and moving. And like, that's really cool. And that, I appreciate that dynamic so much, because everybody wins in that scenario. It's symbiotic. And same thing with you, Rylee.
I wonder what your life would be like if you didn't come to the Jamaica trip.
Well, we probably wouldn't have, because here's the thing. The ripples that were sent out. So one of the main things we talked about was me making the Onwards video course, and me potentially starting a podcast, and then just like me asking questions and trying to figure out the best way to do that, because you guys have more experience in that arena, because Austin and even you, Rylee, you guys have been making video content and putting stuff on YouTube and courses for 3, 4, 5 years. So again, that's why it's important to surround yourself with people who are doing the things that you want to do or have already done. So if I didn't go to Jamaica, I wouldn't have gotten those insights. I wouldn't have gotten inspired to come home and just hit the ground running with making the course, which is going to be free on YouTube if you guys are listening. I started uploading it today. Wouldn't have met Mr. Paul, wouldn't be doing any of that. And it's just like all the dots that connected and ripples that went out for me taking a risk. Like, that was a nice chunk of change for me back then, putting that out to go to Jamaica. But something told me, just go, man. Take that jump, take that leap of faith, like, to jump into the unknown. And it's paid off 100x. You know what I mean, man? So yeah.
Do you think you would go back to it next year?
I would like to go back just to like see everybody and reconnect. Now,
I don't know if you're going to be able to get the same group together.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I appreciate those kind of events. I'm obviously, like, I would go with you guys, you know, anywhere. I was ready to go to Amsterdam with you guys in October, right? And that's kind of up in the air, right?
We'll be there in April.
April? Okay. Well,
Yeah, it
2021.
should happen.
yeah. Okay.
I was just DMing Jason on Twitter trying to get him, and then I DM'd him on Instagram today because he replied to my story. I'm trying to figure out if it's definitely happening, and then I can start making plans because I want to go to Greece before, trying to do more than just go out there. But it's weird. I think about it like every day, how weird it is that I can't travel or do anything because of the virus.
Yeah.
Here, like just when I'm able to. Same thing for you. Like just when you would be able, you were talking
Right.
about going to Bali for like a month. I know guys that are stuck in Bali, you know, they can't even get back here if they wanted to. So it's just a weird thing that's happened.
It is, man. It is. So hopefully, like, you know, I think after the elections or whatever, I think things
Are you gonna vote?
might calm down. I don't like the idea of mailing shit in because they can just fuck with it. You know what I mean?
Because you're in New Jersey, so they're not even doing in-person voting at all, right?
Yeah, it's weird, man. Yeah. So
Is that true? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either because the idea of just like floating around like, oh, I have to mail it in, and I don't know, dude, like. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the real shit. And so, like, I would go back to Jamaica and I would go back to an event like that if it was, like, the same identity mapping. Probably don't need that because we went through that. So, like, why redo it? But, like, I just those kind of events, if you're listening, what we did was a Rainmaker retreat hosted by JD Frost and company. And what it was is he brought together all these people from different businesses from around the U.S. And we just, it was a networking event, but it was like way more than that, where Mr. Rocky Garza came in and ran us through his identity mapping program, which, Rylee, how would you describe that program? Like, what would be the best way to describe that?
He gets people to think about a series of questions that people don't usually actually take serious thought and consideration into. And then he kind of combines that with his unique talent of getting to know everybody over a couple of days and then combining those things with the person's strength to kind of make a clear picture of this is who you are and this is why you are the way that you are.
Right. And that was really powerful for all of us. People were crying. It was very vulnerable, but like it brought everybody even closer together. And that, I think, is the most important aspect of those kind of events, where the bonds you make, the personal development aspect, the clarity you leave with. So I would do something like that again, just because I appreciate all like the nuanced things that are outside of the main idea of like, this is for networking and for business. Like, it's the little things like that that I find a lot of value in and that I really appreciate. So I would do something like that again. We got to host one. That's
what I was going to say. I'm going to throw one. I just got to figure out when we can actually do it again, when people want to be around other people.
Yeah.
A forex meditation retreat.
We can combine both brands, both companies, and bring people from all over the world.
I think the right way to do it would be to hire even more experienced people than me and you to teach everybody. And we become part of the students, part of the people that pay to be there just to be a part of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they pay to come to the ASFX seminar, but Tim Story is coaching, or whoever it may be is coaching there too. You know what I'm saying? That it sells more. You got to pay more, but it's better.
Yeah. When the world wants to turn on again.
Listen, imagine we hire some like lady to come do yoga with us. Like I was saying, hire the chef when we were doing it before. We could hire the chef, hire a lady to be there to do yoga with us every day, like a professional lady. You know what I'm saying? Make it really cool. I got a lot of ideas. All I got is ideas, bro.
Yeah. It's really cool to see, because those of you guys watching and listening, I've known Austin for 10 years. We grew up together, and he started his business ASFX, where it's forex education, coaching, knowledge, and
power,
dollar bill, y'all.
Dominance,
tips,
annihilation.
Yeah. So,
but I pulled the Panther card today, and
I heard Annihilator. What is it? Annihilator of obstacles or something like that.
I was about to fall
something
into
like that.
School. Yep.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is it's talking about like creating your reality and manifesting your dreams and like seeing things come to fruition. When Austin first was getting started with this stuff 5-6 years ago, I was there, and he was always talking about hosting these events and bringing people together and just educating people and creating like this community around what we're doing. And it's been really cool to see that actually happen and unfold.
And as I start doing them, then goddamn coronavirus.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean,
like literally my second one was supposed to happen March 31st. Coronavirus started in February.
Yep. And then we were going to have one in August in Florida, and that kind of fell through too. But regardless, like
Nobody wants to be around anybody else right now.
Right. But like outside of Corona, it's just really cool to see you set those intentions and then put the time, energy, effort, work, belief in, and then actually see those things come true where people actually pay to come and then they're getting value and then that creates content and then there's more. It's really beautiful to see. So for anybody listening, like you have so much power to create those dreams and goals. It just takes time.
I dropped out of college.
Me too.
It just took time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just took time. And Rylee.
I went to 4 colleges.
And the right people. You got to have the right
I went to
team.
college for all of us.
You were watching that David Blaine thing yesterday on Joe Rogan. What did he say is the most important thing? A team. So I've got good people. Yeah. Like I got you, but I have, people that are closer to the center, like Rylee and the people like on our marketing team and stuff. Like you have a good team of people.
Yeah.
I think that just, dude, makes my life way easier. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And especially for me, because like as some people listen, your message, which isn't so monetary driven. For me, it's just about points. And now it's getting fun because you get to play with the points differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, it's interesting, but at the same time, kind of going back to what you said before, I have to continue to try to push myself and set that, Rylee calls it drive the ship. Like I got to drive the ship because like the way you just explained what I've done, nobody's in front of me telling me what to do. There's no boss in front of me cutting me my check every week. I'm either going out making money or I'm not. It's that, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's been that way for a long time since, before the trading stuff even was around. You remember like the DJ stuff, that was the way to make money back in the day. So it's always just been about, kind of the eat what you kill mentality. And that's served me well. And that's come, I think, reinforced from the content that I've consumed, the people that I've kept myself around, the people that I listen to. So tying it back to what you said earlier. So it all kind of goes together. You know what I mean? And that's what's the underlying thing, I think, is the time, consistency.
Absolutely.
Most people wouldn't do what I've done as long as I've been doing it. They would just quit.
Right.
That's why it's easy to beat everybody now.
Yeah. And that's something that Brandon and I were talking about. The first podcast was like, we just want instant gratification and we want everything now. But like Wiz says, like the quicker you're here, the faster you fall. And like good shit takes time, man. And like you guys
bro, the ride is the end.
Yeah.
If you can build a life where every day, the ride that you take feels like there really couldn't be anything higher, like it's the peak. But if you can build it like that, then you really understand that the whole ride, the peaks and the valleys become the end. You just don't want to get off the ride.
The journey is the destination, in other words.
Bro. But you just got to build that destination of a life that, you know what I mean? That the journey is fun and enjoyable and still pays your bills and still does the things you want to do.
Right.
You know?
So then go ahead. No, finish your thought.
No, what were you going to say?
I say, what would you guys say to somebody who is listening to this and they maybe are stuck somewhere that they don't like, whether it be a job or in a relationship or a career?
Well, I got this free webinar coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it is important to have that self-awareness and know that you aren't happy and understand that you can create something different. So you guys are in the forex financial world, but like outside of that, what would you tell somebody who's like, I'm lost. Like, I don't know what I want to do, but like, I know this ain't it. What would you say to that person?
I have an easy answer, but you go ahead. Because you probably have a better answer than me, more like higher self.
Well, my answer would be that if somebody's completely lost or they don't even know what interests them, I would say that they need to get back in tune with themselves. So spend time with yourself, hang out with yourself, like not with you and your phone, like with you in a room, and figure out what you like to do. What, if you want to go to the computer, what is it that you're wanting to look up?
I disagree.
Why? That's how you figure out what you're into. If you're completely lost and you have no idea what you're even into.
Why can't we just not agree to disagree? We're just going to disagree. Because for me, I think if you don't know what to do, you have to go do something. You have to like something a little bit. Try something. Do you like smoking weed? Do you like eating food? Like, what do you like doing? Something. Okay, you kind of like that? Go get a job doing that. Something in that field. Try that. Oh, you didn't like it? Quit. Go do the next thing. I think people run from failure more than almost anything else. And failure to a lot of people is quitting a job, giving up on a job, taking a step in a career and changing directions. When for me, I only found forex because I was like, turn it over, find the next thing, find the next thing, find the next thing. Stocks didn't work, options didn't work, too much money, boom, forex works.
Right.
Okay, roll it in. You know what I'm saying? Just, yeah.
But to Riley's point, I think the only way you can do those things is if you reconnect with yourself and say, what do I want? And then kind of use your intuition and follow that. So I think that they both kind of go hand in hand. But the scary thing is you tell someone, oh, just sit with yourself. Sit in meditation for 5 minutes. And that you'll freak out. People will freak out if you tell them to do that because they don't want to do that. And it's sad, man, that people just don't want to face themselves and face
Why? Why do you think that is?
It's just fear, man. It's ego. People want to hold on.
I'll be honest. I don't hang around enough people to know that people don't want that anymore, you know? So I'm wondering why.
Well, look at this. Oh, it's 4:44 p.m. Synchronicity. I talk to a lot of people because I'm curious about psychedelics, and so many people try to avoid that experience because what happens is your ego is dissolved, and a lot of people suppress, whether it be fears or traumas or insecurities, and they want to avoid the psychedelic experience because those compounds make you look at those things, and people just don't want to. And why? I don't know. Maybe it's ego. People want to hold because people become so attached to their identity and who they think they are, and maybe facing that would be to die essentially, and like that's where ego death comes in. So maybe that's why people are afraid. They don't want the idea of like just one big question mark scares them because they won't know what to identify with, and then that's death.
And it's just the fear of not wanting to leave this life, basically.
Could be.
And think about like a night, even like when you were a little kid. I don't know if you still get nightmares or not, but think about like a really bad nightmare that you've had and how deep and dark that nightmare can get that you can't control unless you're lucid dreaming. But for the most part, that you can't control. So it's like you put somebody in a room with only them and their thoughts. That's where some people's thoughts go. Like it's a super scary place for them. So
I never think about that.
And they can't control it. Like they don't even recognize that they're downward spiraling. They just go down.
That's crazy.
So who, if that's you wouldn't want to be alone with that either. You'd want to constantly distract that.
Right. Or another thing that I just thought of too is like, say you want to,
that's terrifying.
It is, man. But like, say you think you want to be an architect, right?
Okay.
And you spend your whole life going to school and, working in that field and like building shit. And then all of a sudden you there's always this lingering idea that I don't know if I want to be an architect. And for people and they're not happy with it, especially if you put so much, well, let's just use a 9-to-5 for an example. You spend your entire life building a safety net around being in this 9-to-5. And if you're in a 9-to-5, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're happy, that's great. But to identify with, oh shit, like I'm not about this, to break away and to air quotes like die, you got to hit the reset button. Everything that you spent your life building is just it doesn't mean anything anymore, and like you got to basically restart. And if you're a middle-aged person, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, like
you wouldn't want to confront that,
right? Because you're like, I might as well just keep going. Like I'm pretty much here. I don't want to have to start from square one. If I want to make pottery, like I guess I'll never be a potter. Or, you know what I mean? Like people don't want to start over. But like, again, like it's a waste of your life energy, man. And it's sad that a lot of people face that. And if you are listening to this, you do face it, like reach out to me or like somebody and figure it out, man. Because as far as we know, we get this one life, and I don't know. You and I and Riley and a lot of people listening to us, we're doing what we love to do every single day, and it makes life worth living, and like every moment is magic. And I wish more people, if everybody could experience that, but that's just not the reality for some people.
To comment on what you said about like people being scared because they're like, oh, I'm already XYZ age. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, say you're feeling that way and you're only in your 40s and you live to be 90.
Right.
You're giving up before you're even a half of your life old. And it's like,
Right.
for what? Who cares what age you are? Do what you want to do. Isn't that the purpose of what you're alive for?
Yeah. But
To
then
do what you want to do?
people will be like, again, it's all fear, it's all ego. That's what causes all of this, because someone's like, if their heart is in something else, they don't want, there's a fear of being judged, or like Austin said, failing and like eating shit. Like, people care too much about what other people think instead of just like,
They have way too many attachments to way too many things outside of themselves.
right. Absolutely.
I think of like the mom vans with all the stickers on the back of their like van of everything they like, cat mom, soccer mom. It's like you identify with every single one of those things so strongly.
My son is valedictorian at William Allen Middle School.
He's going to Yale.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I guess, it's all
Like
ego.
honor student mom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Honor student. Yeah. Yeah, I think because as we, and even your brother Ryan Rylee, like as we've gotten deeper into mindfulness and meditation and reading these self-help books, we've kind of learned more about what the ego really is, and how pretty much, so in The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, he talks about ego, and ego is just self-sabotage. Ego wants to get in the way, and the more resistance. So the more resistance you feel towards something, the more important it is for you to do that thing, for the evolution of your soul. And the ego is what wants to self-sabotage, what wants to procrastinate, put things off, make excuses. So it's all ego at the end of the day. So,
but the ego is also what allows us to be alive, because the ego is what makes everything form.
Right. It's a crazy
So
mind fuck.
it's like, it's such a controlling thing that you want to be aware of, but at the same time, you can never completely get rid of it, because it's what makes you you. Like, at the end of the day, in this reality, you have to attach to like we have our social security numbers, you have to attach to some things to get through life in this reality. Right.
So, okay, and then to segue in the meditation and mindfulness, because that's been something that's been a pretty big part of our lives the last few months, few years. If someone's listening to this and they want to get started into that, especially the ladies listening, I know you have the Mindful Ladies thing, and Rylee, you're doing your thing. Like, what would you think, or even like books or resources, what are some things that you think would be really beneficial and good things to start with if you're interested in learning more about that, or just diving down those rabbit holes?
As for meditation, I personally use the Waking Up app by Sam Harris.
Me too.
It's the only app I've ever used, so I'm not going to say that it's the best out there. I just happen to like it and haven't explored. So it's what works for me. And he has a really good introductory like course, he calls it, but really it's just a series of, I think, 28 different meditations that he personally guides you through. And he's a neuroscientist, so me like enjoying the factual side of things enjoys that piece of him, the ego attaching to that,
Absolutely.
his label. So that is a great thing for meditation. As for books, there are so many different books that are just incredible when it comes to the awakening experience. I think that Don Miguel Ruiz, I'm not sure exactly how you say his last name. I probably butchered that, but he has a series of books and I think they're all fabulous. They're super, like, I don't want to say beginner, but just more of, let's say like normal speak, in the sense of he dumbs it down a little bit to people that are new into that realm, and he doesn't make it so far-fetched to understand and conceptualize the ideas that he talks about. Yeah, I feel like I could list a bunch of books though, but I don't really want to do that. So
no, yeah, you're good. If you're listening to this, go check out Austin and Rylee's pages, and then if you're following Onwards on Instagram, check out the Onwards book club list. It's all those books that Rylee talked about and ones that we're always reading, because it's important. It's important to just expand your consciousness in any way, and yoga, meditation, like all of those things and books. When Ryan and I left Florida from visiting you guys a few weeks ago, on the way to the airport, I started to feel kind of down. I was feeling a little sad. And Ryan, because meditation changes your brain, you're able to step outside of the ego, step outside of, Eric, and become the observer, and kind of get out of the car, if you will, and kind of observe outside looking in. And Ryan said, use your newfound meditation skills to observe those feelings and thoughts and find out where they're coming from. and I did that, and it came from a place of, I'm going to miss my friends. My friends now live in Florida. It's going to be hard for me to see them. That's why I'm so hyped that now we can hop on here and do this kind of stuff. But that's where those feelings are coming from. I was going to miss my friends. You know, Yam was leaving. I wasn't going to see her for a while. So that's where it came from. And because I had those skills for meditation to observe those thoughts and feelings, it snapped me right out of it. And I was happy-go-lucky getting on the rest of my day. So I think those skills are really, really important. And if you're someone listening to this, definitely look get into meditation, because it literally changes your brain.
Yeah. And I would say don't be fearful about doing it wrong. Like there isn't really a wrong way to do it. Like just do it and start and practice. And it's something that as you practice, you'll get better in the sense of what feels more comfortable for you.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Even one conscious breath is a meditation. Anything that brings you back to the present moment and brings you back to yourself. So yeah, check that out. All right, guys, we're about 30 minutes in. We could wrap this up now. I think people got some good value out of this, right?
Definitely.
Anything else you want to add, guys?
No, nothing. I just had a question. Have you done hot yoga yet?
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't done it in a while. Hot yoga is next level, man, because when we went to Israel for 12 days in January, we came back, and the first thing we did after being home the next morning at like 7 a.m., we did a hot yoga class, and it was exactly what we needed, because all the stress and tension of the past 12 days traveling in a different country, going all around Israel, it was perfect. It was exactly what we needed. Because you guys had your first class, right?
I signed up for the like unlimited membership, whatever thing. So we're going Thursday, so tomorrow, and
it's like a free trial thing.
Yeah, and
Saturday, and then next Saturday.
Logan's coming down next weekend.
Cool. Yeah, man.
When are you coming down next?
I don't know. I'll gotta take a look at plane tickets.
Remember, dude, they're $70. You could fly down and back in the same day for $70.
That's wild.
Yeah. Plane tickets aren't the problem.
No, it's just finding time.
When I said to you yesterday, Brandon said you're coming down, and you were like, yeah, no.
Yeah, you're coming down next weekend, right? Nope. I don't know. I just said I'd be there soon. Yeah, that is a small world, and that's what him and I talked about too. Is like, how crazy is it that?
It's weird that I saw him in the airport when I was going to Jamaica with Rylee the first time, not the time with you. The first time her and I went to Jamaica. And
he was wearing an Onwards hoodie.
Yeah, and we saw him there.
So that's so crazy. Only person
from Morristown that Rylee sees over and over again.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the first thing I said when I met him. I was like, "You're the kid that we saw at the airport that was wearing the white Onwards hoodie," and he was like, "Yeah."
That's crazy.
Dude,
that
video that they did is so funny.
It is.
The Drake video.
Yeah, go check out Free Parking Podcast and everything they're up to. They make some awesome stuff, all related to sports.
How do I get on their podcast? I got to get interviewed by them. I got to be good at sports.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm trying to be like that wakeboard guy, bro, that I sent you on Instagram.
You could be.
That dude that like gets pulled from the one boat to the other boats, then just walks onto the other boat. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's me.
Yeah. No, well, now, so that's the thing. Our friend from high school, Austin and I grew up in South Jersey, is now living in the same complex and building as Austin and Rylee a few floors down. And it's just like such a small world and so synchronistic. And it's even crazy that you just said you saw him in the airport with an Onwards hoodie. Like, wow.
That was a long time ago, though. That was a couple years ago.
But still, that's wild.
He invited us out this weekend too, so we might be hanging out with him this weekend.
You should.
So it's cool. It's good. You get to meet some people, and then he knows somebody with a boat. Anybody with a boat's a friend to me. You know what I'm saying?
They're my best friend,
bro. Some of these boats that I was looking at that I want, they're like $300,000. I'm not buying this damn boat for $300,000. You know how much other shit that I could buy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I got to just find friends with somebody that knows a boat. You know what I mean?
Well, you're Florida living, so that'll be really, really easy. I think. I think Alex Melendez.
Yeah.
It's like I think his sister's fiance, his family has a boat, and that's where Brandon was. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Cool. Yep. And now I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna get more time on a boat. I like the boat.
I like boats.
I like the wakeboard. What about you, bro? When are you gonna move down here?
I don't know.
Are you moving to Colorado?
I would rather move.
You're going to be doing podcast. You need to move to LA. What the hell was that?
No, LA sucks.
Dude, everybody's out in LA.
Sorry if you live in LA, but when I was there, I wasn't really feeling it.
James Charles and do each other's makeup. Isn't that what YouTubers do?
Looks like I'm moving to LA.
Bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's out and like, so now when you want to do these podcasts, if you don't start, they just doing video, it's hard to get people in person anymore.
Yeah, no.
Dude, I know what you could do. Move to Texas, find out where Joe's living, park your podcast on his street, and competing business.
Yeah. Just set up a little booth and a table.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I think I want to move somewhere. If I move west, I'm moving backwards in terms of time. And I don't want to wake up earlier than I'm waking up. I don't want to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You still factor trading into your thing?
Yeah. If I'm out in I'm not trying to wake up.
Trying to keep trading like hardcore like that. You're not going to sacrifice that to go to Colorado? Because I figured your personality, you'd sacrifice the trading for Colorado and just trade later.
No. What's really cool is going somewhere like Europe, Barcelona, and instead of
talk to me about that, bro. I'll take these headphones off and I'll walk out of this room.
Instead of waking up at 5 a.m. and starting trading at 5 a.m., you start trading at 10 a.m. You got the whole morning to do your thing, man.
Like we could do our morning walk before we even have to start trading. I'd probably never lose a trade. Your blood would be flowing normal.
Man.
I woke up and missed everything.
Yeah,
you did.
That's what I'm saying. Or even some mornings if I can't sleep, like the other night.
It screws you up.
That's the thing about alpha brain, dude, is I've been having these crazy alpha brain dreams.
Yeah, like what?
Just like super vivid, very realistic, fantastical, mystical dreams. I can't tell you off the top of the head, but just like all kinds of crazy dreams.
So it's worth it? Would you take it? Like, would you do it again? Buy it again?
Yeah, for sure. I've been taking it almost every day, but
would you do this over microdosing? Because I got all these mushrooms. Should I be microdosing them, or what should I be doing? Buying Alpha Brain? What do I need to be doing?
So I've been trying to compare the two. Alpha Brain has different vitamins and shit, so it's almost like a supplement. But today I did both, and we're living. I was on fire. I was on fire earlier. I was like locked in, uploading those videos and making thumbnails. So
nice.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, dude. I don't know where I'm moving. I'll figure it out, dude. I'm definitely in an adventurous.
Bro, I mean, the houses in Texas are so cheap. You get so much space in Texas.
He's like, no, I'm not going back in time.
Yeah, I don't really want to go back in time.
It's only an hour to Texas. It's different than Colorado.
True.
We could go to Dallas and only be 1 hour different. Yeah, it's all right. It's
fine.
An hour.
That's fine. That's doable.
An hour.
Or you can go to
a truck. Listen, I'm getting a truck and a Tiger.
You're talking to the girl that gets 100% sleep on her Whoop every night.
Yeah.
An hour is a lot.
I'm getting a truck and a Tiger when we get to Texas.
Oh my God.
Okay.
A pickup truck and a Tiger.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. What else are we going to do with our time? Like Eric said, one life, bro.
One life.
One love, one life.
One love, one life. One consciousness. One life, one God.
Thanks for having us on, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. This was fun. And we're definitely gonna be doing more like this because I like this whole setup, especially that you got the Rodecaster and the microphones and the headphones. Like it's super, super legit. And then I'm gonna
do a combo ASMR, isn't that what it's called? Video where we both just make noises like that into the microphone.
Buzz. Welcome back to Jazz Radio.
Hello, my taste.
The jazz radio thing, bro. That's funny. I said to Rylee the other day when we were talking about these things, I was like, this is like a radio show.
We could film so many of these in a day too because of how easy this is.
Wait, but then I was like, what's a radio?
Right. Throwback.
What's a radio? What's stereo?
Yeah, last time I listened to radio, I was like, I fell off my dinosaur.
Wait. Good one, bro. Yeah. You got him.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, let's wrap this up. People are probably like, what the fuck are these people talking about?
I got to end the recording, right? So it's on my end. All right. Thanks, bro.
Thanks for being here, everybody.
Done.